Welcome to the Ghost Heads Nerd Talk Podcast. Interviews and conversations about nerd culture from all around the world. Now here are your three Ghostbuster hosts, Joe, Rain, and Val. Enjoy the show.
Hey, all you cool busters and busters. I'm Ghostbuster Joe, and welcome to episode. Hey, all you cool busters. Oh, the background noise. But hey, all you Ghostbusters and Ghostbusterettes. This is episode 95 of Ghost Head Nerd Talk Podcast. I am Ghostbuster Joe.
And I'm Rain. What's up?
I'm Natasha.
Yeah. So, Rain, introduce our guest for today.
A really awesome person I met a few weeks ago. Has her own ASMR channel and just all around awesome person. I'd like to welcome Becca.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
No, thank you for coming on. Yeah.
Of course. Absolutely.
So excited to hear your journey and hear about everything you do. So, if my nerd culture is not familiar with you, introduce yourself.
So I definitely am a very nerdy person. I do also love Ghostbusters. Going back to like the ASMR community, I have a lot of sleep issues. I have a lot of weird dreams, things like that. Something I discovered about 10 or 11 years ago was ASMR videos to fall asleep to, like nice soothing sounds, people talking, things like that. And I only started my channel about a year ago. I've been uploading consistently for a year, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's been pretty awesome. But it was something that was a tool to help me fall asleep and stay asleep, which was important. And so I hope that I can do that for other people. Like the greatest compliment I can get is someone being like, this video is so great, I fell asleep. So it sounds weird to say like, hey, I want you to fall asleep to my work, but you know, it's what it's for.
What type of content do you have on your channel? What is it that you do?
So a lot of what I do is makeup related. I'm a makeup hobbyist for sure. And recently I had a series where I uploaded 13 days in a row for Halloween. So I did fall themed videos for all 13 days. Like I created custom eyeshadow palettes. I had a potion shop. Some of it's role plays, some of it's like just me creating things. There's kind of a wide variety, but a lot of it is makeup themed since that's a lot of what I have. So those are kind of the props that I tend to use.
That's cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do you think that affects your dreams?
I have had it affect my dreams. There have been times, so I sleep with sleep headphones on, so that way I can like hear it and it's nice and quiet, and it's also an eye mask, so it's nice and dark, and that helps me fall asleep. But there have been times where like I'm having a weird dream and I'll see like the person from the video in my dream, and I'm like, wait, what? Where? What? What are we doing here? And then I realize I'm asleep. So, but yeah, it does happen from time to time.
Mm.
Yeah.
So another reason we wanted you on today is because one of the topics we're talking about is we're going to talk about dreams tonight, which is something that is a very interesting topic because it deals with the brain. What are dreams? Are they, things that happen? I mean, it's quite interesting how dreams work, and there's no real major, thing behind it. I mean, there are some studies, but no real explanations for like, why does the brain dream,
Yeah.
So it's an interesting topic. I thought would be really cool tonight.
Yeah, I saw some post, and it's like, it's funny how one half of your brain is like making up this whole story, and the other half is like, whoa, amazing, like surprised by it, going on this whole emotional journey.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
So I did see a fun Funny meme that
There are a
says
lot of
nightmares are just horror stories that you star in your dreams.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
sometimes you wake up and you're like, God, why was I scared? That was so dumb. It was like so dumb.
The struggle is so real when you wake up from a dream and you're so panicked, and then you're like, I can't explain this dream to a person because it sounds insane. It sounds hilarious, but I was terrified.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be like bees were chasing me. That's it. I've had that
Right.
dream at least 2 or 3 times, and it'll just be just a swarm of bees chasing me.
The worst.
Or Dracula
Worst.
in a pink cape.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Can you guys remember the weirdest dreams you've ever had?
Oof. I'll go last because my dreams are kind of odd anyway.
Yeah.
So, ladies,
Yeah.
you go first.
I don't remember most of my dreams. I did do a dream journal for a little bit and had like a little bit of one of those dreams where we become aware in it. And something about it kind of
Oh,
scared
yeah.
me.
Lucid dreams.
Yeah, I stopped doing it.
Yeah. Lucid dreaming is certainly a thing.
It like
Yeah.
something about it was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like when I like became aware, and I was like, I'm good on the dream journal, even though I like kind of want to do it again. It's kind of a pain in the butt to be in the habit of it too. But
I've never been able to get into it. I like if I wake up from a dream, I'm still so tired and just wanting to go back to sleep that like the last thing I want to do is like write it down.
yeah,
Yeah,
and like
right.
my handwriting will be so bad, and I
Oh, yeah.
misspell everything. It'll be like when your
Mhm.
brain is half awake, it makes no sense. And like I'll go
Right.
back and read it, and I'm like, this is terrible. Like, you know,
Yeah.
there's not really a lot to glean from it. Yeah, at least for me.
What about you, Rain? Any strange dreams?
Oh gosh. I have I get into that phase where I wake up and I remember it for just a little bit, and then as the day moves on, I totally forget what the fuck it was. Maybe some small snippets I'll remember of it, but
Yeah.
weirdest one I can remember, gosh. I think it was I was some location, and I just remember having the wrong clothes on or something and being really upset about it, something dumb like that. And but then
Yeah.
people, acting like I was wearing nothing or something. Just that's I think that's the weirdest one I can remember. I wasn't actually naked in the dream, which was good, but because I guess that's a common thing that's always like you're naked in school and like you're about to take a test or something like that, but. Yeah,
I've
I was
never had those
maybe-
dreams.
Yeah, I just remember being same. I never had one of those
Yeah,
either where like I'm in school
never.
to test. But
Yeah.
I think the weirdest one I was really upset because I was wearing like the wrong dress or clothes or something. So and it just got me mad. And I was just woke up. I was like, why was I so mad at that?
Yeah.
One of my stress dreams that I'll have pretty often is for some reason I brought my cat somewhere without a bag or a leash or something. I'm like at a house
Nope.
party, I'm at a festival, and I'm like,
Mhm.
why do I have my loose cat with me? Because I think it's because like
Why do
when
I
I
have a
sleep at
cat?
night, I'll be like holding her. So something in my brain, it's like
Yeah.
I just have her at a party for some reason. It's like
Yeah.
that would never happen.
No. But in the moment, it feels so real.
Yeah, I'm
That's
just
the
like,
hardest
oh, God.
part.
And then I'm always like, why? How did we get here? You know,
Yeah.
it's so stressful, and it's
Yeah.
just like this doesn't seem like how is this useful? Like to be stressed out when you're trying to regain, energy and rest.
Yeah. It's not
Yeah.
ideal.
What is it they say that the people that you see throughout your day or whoever like faces are like those are the people in your dream that your brain because it's using images from things that are happening to create those people that we interact with.
Yeah. You ever like binge something like a book or like a show or a video game or like a bunch of work or something? I've had dreams where I'm like doing like menial graphic design tasks.
Oh, yeah. I have had many a stress dream about work. I've had stress dreams about jobs that I left years ago.
Mhm.
And I will
True.
still have a stress dream about it, being like, oh my God, I got to do all this stuff. And then I wake up and I'm like, that's not even my job anymore.
Yeah.
Guess I don't have to do those things.
Someone for some reason, like an old manager from 8 years ago.
Yeah. Where they're like, you got to have this done. And I'm like, why isn't it done? And then I wake up and I'm like, because I don't work there. That's why it's not done.
I mean, I've had dreams where I've like stressed out because I'm late for work, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna get fired or something like that.
Yeah.
Why are they nice? Like, if we really have all this possibility to make them feel real, why can't they just be nice and then we remember them also? Like, why can't we like have like these like relief from the day experiences?
Before I dig too deep into the weird nightmares I've had, so I've done like keto diets where you eat like low carb and stuff. I had a dream once that I ate an entire cake, and it was amazing. It was the best cake I've never had. It was so good. And I woke up feeling like, oh my God, I ate a whole cake. And then I was like, wait a minute. You didn't eat a cake. You were asleep. Girl, you were asleep. I did not eat a whole cake, but I literally, I woke up and I told my husband, I was like, I had a dream I ate a whole cake. It was so good.
But it tasted like a pillow. I don't know why.
It was so strange. Like I was looking around at like my pillows, like, did I try to eat a pillow or anything weird? Nope. Just dreamt that I ate a cake.
Just a little drool.
It was like a nice yellow cake with like coconut frosting. Oh, it was so good. I still remember. It was that good. But yeah.
I've had a dessert dream before where for some reason I'm just at a party and I've gotten, there's like a bunch of little desserts. Oh, that's the best when you get to try it.
Yeah. Like
don't mind if I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Dream
a good
food is wild.
More of those, please.
Yeah. What about you, Joe? Weird dreams?
Oh my God. I had one time that I almost said it like last week to the girls, and they're like, no, wait, save it. And in my head, everybody went, no, wait, like Val, but I had a dream after I saw Jurassic Park that I was some reason in the air flying, and I fell out of a plane, and I landed right into the T-Rex's mouth, open mouth, just like.
I mean, that's fast.
What was that?
That's like the fast way to go, just like straight into the mouth.
I was like, no. I'm stupid. My parachute would pop open as his mouth is closing. Parachute.
All right. Yeah.
I'm alive. I made it. No.
Yeah.
When that happens, it'll be like something like for some reason I've fallen off a cliff and I'll like jump awake.
Yeah. Yep. I have had dreams after I went on hikes that I'm too close to an edge and the wind hits me and I slip and I fall off the cliff.
Yeah.
Because we were taking a picture next to a cliff with my old job, and I was standing there in the back going, yeah, in the picture, but in my mind I was like, oh shit, there's no bar here. But in the dream I fell. Everybody's in the picture and I'm just like,
no.
I'm falling off the cliff in the picture.
Worst.
The one I had with my new job, maybe it was just me thinking about the night shift. I had a dream that I kept waking up into the dream. And no, it was like I have a dream before that when I worked in Walmart. It was a manager I didn't like. And I woke up. She was saying I was in my dream, I was a greeter. For one of my other jobs before I had the job now. That I was at the door, and in my dream, I closed my eyes. I opened my eyes. My own former manager was like this close to my face. No, sleeping. No, you don't sleep. So I jumped out of my bed and I ran out of the room, grabbed my door, looked back in, and it was in my brain. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, Joe? She's not going to pop out of the bed like Freddy Krueger. No. Like, I'm like, oh, you do this. Yeah. For my new job that I have now, I had a dream that I was in the dream. Some reason my eyes were closed. I woke up and the whole kitchen was dark and all the pots were put back in their places and everybody was gone. And I was open, eye closed. I kept seeing the kitchen and it was like there was nobody there. And I was running out of my room as it was like, oh my God, I'm locked in the kitchen. The door, I was pushing on the door. It was like I kept opening, when you feel like you're not leaving the dream when you open your eyes sometimes. Yep.
Yeah.
I felt like I was pushing on the door of my bedroom and the door of the kitchen would not open because I was locked in and I didn't know what to do. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, after the dream, as you say, what the fuck? I was like, if you're stuck in the kitchen, Joe, you could just fucking go crazy and eat all the ice cream.
Right.
Like, I work in a kitchen that has ice cream. Rain. I literally work at a place that has Hershey's chocolate ice cream. I could just fucking just crouch out in a corner,
Just demolish.
and I know where all the big cans are. They
Yeah.
have like the beans, and I could just get an old school
You'd be
Pee Wee
set.
Herman, Pee Wee Herman, freaking like up there, Charlie, on my soul, sitting in the corner and just eating beans in the kitchen, and they're like, walk back in like, morning guys, be like, the fuck is this? Joe's eating pudding, eating beans, just farting his brains out. But
as an extrovert, those dreams where you're all alone are really troubling.
yeah, but I'm
Really
bad. They'll
troubling.
find me like tired and like freaking like knocked out from eating all the beans, farting his brains out. My last dream, it was like a scary dream for me. I was doing something at work, standing by one of the trays, and I fell backwards. And it was like I could see my body over, like my spirit over my body, and all my people at work were going, what do we do now? And my boss is just like, I don't know. What do we do? And I'm like, call 911. Does anybody know what to do? What is going on here? Everybody just over me like, what do we do?
What do we do now?
What do we do now? And it's just like, it was right after we took one of our tests about like CPR. And I had that dream about me dying on the floor. Like, yeah.
That won't happen.
Creepiest dream. That was the last creepiest dream I ever had.
I don't know if you guys always run into this issue, but I always have this problem where, like, I used to fly in my dreams when I was a kid, but then after I would fly a few times, and I would try to fly again, and then I couldn't, and I kept trying to jump, and nothing would happen. Or when I'm trying to go somewhere in a dream, I move really, really slow, and I'm like, why can't I move at a normal pace? I don't understand that. Or yeah,
I can't lucid dream. Well, that's a lie. I can lucid dream. I choose not to. So if I'm having a dream and I know that I'm dreaming, like these things do not make sense, this isn't real, I know that I'm having a dream, I have to just let it play out, because otherwise, if I try to influence it by being like, oh, I should run away from this danger, or, I should go do this thing since I'm, wherever I am, my brain will make it 10 times worse. If it's a scary dream, it's gonna get worse. And so it's almost like my brain is like, no, I made this for you. You have to have it.
Yeah.
So now when I know I'm dreaming, I'm like, all right, this is what it is. But
yeah, like I've been working on this all day. You're gonna watch it.
Correct. Yeah. My brain's like, this is how we're processing things today, Becca. This is what we're doing. And it's not great.
Your subconscious does process a lot of stuff. So I'm a designer, and so I'll like try to take in a lot of information, or like if I'm doing research, I'll try to take in a lot, and then I'll go do something else, and I do come back with fresh ideas that kind of like, where did this come from? Like sometimes creatively, you like pull things from the ether.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
My
a lot of creativity
really wants to be up here.
So I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but I have this experience where I will dream something, won't remember it, but then it happens in real life. And and then I go, I dreamt this. I know I did. And and some people say they haven't, and some people say I do, but that is such a weird thing. Cause it's like, okay, the dreams you don't remember is that, are you seeing the future? And then where is the brain pulling that information from? Is that just time and space that it's grabbing it from? That it's just such an odd but such a cool thing.
It's tricky, because sometimes I've heard that, like, if it's a dream that you don't remember, it's actually a visual processing issue, to where like one of your eyes is processing the data faster, and your brain is like, well, because we've already done this.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
It's like you processing things, but it's like your brain is like, I think it's like buffering certain things.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Mine's running on old hardware.
And there are some coincidences too. Like, you might read into it. But.
Yeah. I've had some really like seemingly mundane dreams that like I wake up being like, that's weirdly chill and mundane. And then, those things do happen. which is very, very strange. But, and of course, like if I mention it like to my husband, he's like, did this part happen too? So
Yeah.
like
Jeez.
sometimes it changes, but sometimes I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, for
I
me,
dreamt
it's
this.
just a quick moment, like if I'm
Yeah.
at like a party or talking to someone, and then suddenly
Yeah.
remember this scene, but I don't remember everything after. It's just that quick little like
Just that
slap
bit.
with it. Yeah. So it's like I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you what happens after or how it got before. It was just suddenly I remember I drank this, and it was just
Yeah.
like, yeah. I always feel like it was like something telling me that I'm on the right path, maybe, or something. I don't know, because it's weird trying to figure out what the meaning of all that is.
Yeah. I used to, when I was younger, I had one of those books that was like dream meanings to where you could
Oh,
look
yeah.
up like various phrases or words to kind of see what dreams meant. It wasn't helpful. Like it was often like, if you dream that you're dreaming, it means that your life is full of possibilities. And I was like, you don't need to bullshit me right now. I need to know why I woke up 3 times. Okay. Well, I need answers.
It's like you need to drink less coffee.
Right. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There are foods that I don't have like when it's too close to bedtime because yeah, I will have weird dreams. So I have to just like, nope. But
Those some of the best dreams I've had that I remember are when I took mushrooms. So they were good.
Jeez.
there you go. Yeah, I've never done that, but I do wonder if it would make my dreams better or worse. It's hard to say. Oh,
Oh yeah, I'm
that's a good
working up
question.
that for sure. But then you're like, no, wait a minute.
It's
dreamt
funny
of-
that question was asked because I've never had like a dream where like my partner cheated on me and then I was like, you were mean to me in a dream and you should apologize. But I've had dreams where I'm like, did we really have that argument? Because that doesn't make any sense. So it's less like, hey, you need to apologize because you were mean to me in a dream. But it's more like, did we argue about some meaningless shit?
No, I've had dreams where
Do we need to talk it out right now?
yeah, my partner's cheated on me, or my ex, and then they cheated on me. But funny enough, they haven't. So, I mean, outside of the dreams, but yeah, the weird thing.
Yeah, I've definitely never held a grudge against someone for like having a mean dream about them, but I do have to like reality check myself of like, how logical is this that happened? But for me, one thing that I've come to notice, like with the amount of dreams that I have, is that like I have what I call like bizarro versions of the people that I know. So like my husband, for example, like when I am dreaming about my husband and he's being like unrealistically mean to me for no reason, his eyes will be more green than they are in real life. His eyes are very blue in real life. So I can kind of like pick those things out. But again, I can't do anything about it because otherwise my brain will somehow make it worse. So I just like allow us to have like whatever argument or whatever it is like in the dream to where I'm like, okay, it's gonna be over soon. That's not really your husband. It's some kind of weird like facsimile of him. You just gotta get through it. But yeah, that does make it harder of like the people that I know. But also it makes me more aware in case they do ever get body snatched. I know like what to look for. To where I'm like,
That's so specific. I don't think I've ever
It's
noticed
really
anyone's
specific.
eye colors in a dream.
right? Because
Yeah.
why would you? Normal people would not.
I just feel
But
like
when you have
situations.
enough bad dreams, you
Some
do.
people are more visual dreamers than other. Like there are like levels of visualization that people have in detail.
Yeah.
You sound like a
It's also
detailed
true.
visualizer.
Yeah.
See, I'm never aware that I'm dreaming in a dream, though. I've never been that aware of things going on. Not until I wake up and I was like, oh, I was dreaming, but never been aware like, oh, I'm in a dream. I'd never been aware of that. I've had a friend tell me long ago that he used to be like that, but then he did something like that, and then he was aware, and he was able to start controlling it and then changing it. It was like, was like, wish I could do that. And I'm never aware
Yeah.
of my dreaming. It's only until I wake up and I was like, oh, okay.
There are a lot of actually, believe it or not, there are a lot of like YouTube tutorials out there that you can listen to like learn how to lucid dream. And because then you can, be in control of your dreams and things like that. Because like one way to think about dreams is that like if you store a bunch of images in a computer, you can kind of arrange them however you want to. So if you take control of the mouse to like move the images around how you want to move them around, that's effectively how like lucid dreaming goes for most people. But not me.
Okay.
So,
It feels
So
like
I
a
don't
weird
try.
AI that you're watching. Some of the things like some of the things that dreams generate feels like a weird AI.
it does.
Yeah,
It feels like watching like an AI because you've seen like the visualizers too. It's like they're going through a train of pumpkins. That was one of the Halloween ones.
Next time I have a weird dream, I'm going to be like, show me your hands. And see how many fingers they have. Like if it's like this. This is their
Well,
hand.
I always can tell when you try to read text that really isn't good at like writing like signs or things like that.
Yeah.
True.
For sure.
Have you ladies ever had a dream and before like you're hanging out with your friends and taking a seat like a gummy and then you go they say never try to go to bed after having a gummy. I felt like Spider-Man. I felt like a spider. I closed my eyes and it was like I was like, whoa. No.
I mean, I smoked weed for a long time, so I used to smoke and then just put on headphones and I would listen to lots of different music. But then I found the music I listened to would then kind of shift where the dream went or how it went. So I noticed if I listened to like a lot of angry like Tool and stuff or Stone Temple Pilots and things like that, it would change. And then if I listened to like jazz, it would be a different, more kind of dream.
Yeah.
So yeah, I find that music seems to influence the dream. It's like more.
Yeah. When I was younger, like living at my parents' house as like a teenager, that's when we discovered that I had like sleep issues. And so my parents, they hooked me up with a boombox. Love that for them. And we got like a CD of just like soundscapes to where like I could just listen to like some nice relaxing soundscapes. But then my nightmares would happen in the relaxing places.
No.
And it's not great when you're like, I'm in a soothing that guy's going to kill me. Man, this meadow was so relaxing until it wasn't. So stuff like that has been harder for me. Like even with the videos I listen to fall asleep, like I change it up probably like once a month to just kind of like keep it fresh in a way to where like it doesn't settle too deeply in there.
Interesting. You have very vivid dreams.
Yeah,
do.
crazy for the vid.
I do. Yeah, I have.
It's like those binaural things that are supposed to affect your brain waves or something while you sleep.
Yeah, there are definitely those.
Really seem to do much, so I was just like, okay, another.
It's one of those things that I think for people, it's either like it either works or it doesn't. And I'm one of the people that like it doesn't really do much for me either. So, yeah, have you guys ever had sleep paralysis?
Mm-mm.
No, I've never experienced that. My son has told me he has, but not. I don't know, not that I can remember.
It's not great. So, I have had it. The worst I ever had it was after I had my children, like when they were newborns, because in that time frame, your sleep is just so jacked that like it's just anytime you can sleep, you're trying to sleep. But I would have sleep paralysis that like I would think that my baby was crying and I literally could not move. And that's horrible. But then I had a sleep paralysis demon, which was super fun too.
No,
I have super for real, not great. So I had we'll call him a visitor. So I had a visitor when I was, when my babies were very small. And he was probably, I'm looking over because like, I'm trying to judge like how tall. I would say probably like 10 feet tall, like had to crouch to get into my room, but then could look over like these high like closets that we have in our room. And it was really not ideal because like as it got like closer to me, I could feel it push down on the bed and getting closer like to me, and like my baby was in like a bassinet, and I literally had to like try to scream myself awake, and it didn't really work. But thankfully, like it only got to like the edge of the bed, and then I was finally able to like break free of it, and like baby was sleeping fine. Everything was fine. But yeah, not great. And like I do still get like sleep paralysis, but in like really minor ways, to where like I will be able to hear the things that are happening, but still like not be able to move to like acknowledge them, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And yeah.
Like,
Huh?
did it look like a shadow?
Oh no. So my sleep paralysis friend, who I have named Jeff because that to me was the most harmless name I could think of at the time. So Jeff is like 10, 11 feet tall and looks like a burn victim and doesn't have any eyelids.
Oh,
Yep.
Sure, his name is Freddy Krueger.
I mean, no, because his head was more like round-ish than like Freddy's, I guess. And yeah, like it sounds so weird because like he wore like a big black cloak, but in my head, I'm like, it was just a hoodie, right? Just a hoodie. And yeah, it was very much like, if you're familiar with, are you guys familiar with the old video Salad Fingers?
Yeah.
With the really long fingers. Like he had
Yeah.
super long fingers onto like my bed.
It was like
And
a
so,
flash
yeah, thank
video.
you. Yeah. It's like, and these are the things that like when you explain it like this, it doesn't sound as scary as it was at the time. But you know, time and distance makes it funny. So, but yeah, it's not great. Not great. And yeah, screaming yourself awake also is not fun. I actually did have to do that recently and was very relieved that I didn't wake my husband. And he was like, "What? What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I had to scream myself out of a nightmare because I knew that I was having one and really wanted to not. So sometimes I can just like scream my way out of it, which yeah, not great, not ideal."
Have you ever
But
had a dream where you wake up and then you're able to go back into that dream? And not just me, like you wake me, like you're awake and then you can,
yep,
maybe go to the bathroom and then come back when then you get right back into it. I was reading that
absolutely.
if you fall asleep in the same position that you were in when you woke up, that can sometimes bring you back into it. But yeah, that's happened a few times. I was just like, whoa,
Yeah,
I was just here.
yeah. It's like, oh hey again.
Yeah. It's the same
I
movie.
mean,
It's a rerun.
exactly. Although I will say, when I had my cake dream, I wanted to go back to that dream. I was
Why
like,
is it those dreams you want to go back to? You can never go back to. Yeah.
the good dreams. Yeah. It's like I want to go back to that one. But like I actually did have that happen this morning and it was a nightmare. So I just decided to cut my losses and get out of bed because I was like, all right, if this is how it's gonna be, it's how it's gonna be. I was being stalked on a mountain through a cabin.
oh, geez.
It wasn't great. I'm not a very outdoorsy person, so that was like strike one that I'm like, oh no, I'm not equipped to be out here. Because it was like snowy and stuff like that. There was like this log cabin and there was this woman who like kept stalking me like through the snow and the woods. And it was just very alarming. And of course, like up on the mountain, like my phone wouldn't work. I couldn't talk to anybody. I didn't know where like my family was. And yeah, and then I was like, oh wow, that was a weird dream. And then yeah, I lay back down and I'm like, damn it. Again. So yeah, I just cut my losses and got out of bed. But yeah, I've had a lot of weird dreams. And I think one of the ones that really sticks out to me, if you guys want to hear it, was I had a dream about a friend of mine while he was on vacation. And I had a dream that on this vacation, because he was driving from Portland to like his friend's house in, I believe, like California or Las Vegas, like someplace to where like, yeah, you can drive it, but it's probably going to take more than a day. And I had this dream that he was driving and went missing. which is very strange because he's a very outdoorsy person, like grew up on Mount Hood, very outdoorsy. And so it was very strange. And I remember in the dream talking to his mom and talking to the police and being like, no, this is weird that he's not been heard of. And so then they were like, it's not a big deal. He's a single adult. He can go do what he wants. Maybe he just doesn't want to talk to you guys. And I was like, you need to take this seriously. And they would not take it seriously. And so I woke up really upset and tried to send the worst, trying to be low key message of all time, being like, hey man, how's the trip going? Pretty good, right? Question mark. It's 1 a.m. And I'm you good? Not dead, please? So then after that, I go back to sleep and I'm still super upset. I had been crying. I was so upset. And I went back to sleep, and then in the dream, I'm at home and I'm still really upset about, my friend being missing and things like that. And I had got up in my dream to go make myself some tea downstairs to calm down and things like that. And I hear a knock at my door, and it's the middle of the night. So I go to the door and I answer it, and it's my friend, but he is covered in blood from his hands to his elbows, all over him, covered in blood. And he just said, it was them or me. And I woke up. And so we've since talked about the dream, me and the friend of mine. And he now checks in with me when he goes on road trips to be like, hey, not dead, still good. So he checks in with me now and things like that. But what we think happened in the dream is we think that what happened was there are some weird cults in Southern Oregon. So we're thinking that a cult took him in and he had to fight them all or something like that. But yeah, it was one of the strangest dreams that I've ever had and has just always stuck with me. Yeah, not great.
So what do you guys think the meaning of dreams are? Because it's interesting that cats dream and dogs dream. Is it all sleeping creatures that dream? I mean, obviously we can't talk to insects, but do they sleep? So is it things that just sleep, or is it only mammals? Because it'd be interesting to know if do sea creatures like dolphins or do shark dream? And what do they dream about? Eating fish? I mean, so it's interesting that animals dream too. So I wonder if that's just a condition of sleep, that's the way brains work. And do they dream of the weird things that we dream? Those dogs are running and and stuff. It's interesting, because there's some dreams where you see your pets they're really freaking out. Like, what the fuck are they dreaming about?
Right.
I totally see a cat and a dog wake themselves up before.
Yeah.
Making weird noise and they're sleeping. You're like, are you what's happening?
I always feel bad when a dog is dreaming and they start whimpering.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like, no, baby, it's okay. Whatever's going on, you're safe.
It's just dreaming that their owner's, leaving for the day.
Right.
Dogs are so dramatic.
They are.
Right?
Yeah. They're so dramatic. But yeah, I think for me, since I have so many weird dreams, I do try to find the meaning in them, or at least try to find the reasoning behind why they happened. Am I stressed out about work? Is there, something that's bothering me? Or is this just my brain processing the day that I've had? Kind of letting go of that. It's hard to see.
Some weird side effect because we have DMT in our brains or something.
Right. For me, my brain just keeps going all the time. So
same, can't turn it off. Maybe that's why we sleep, to give the brain a break. But I think the subconscious kind of takes over, and because the brain doesn't stop while we're sleeping, rest of our organs like lungs and things like that, they don't stop. So maybe it's a way that keeps the brain in check to keep running or something. I don't know. It
Yeah.
seems interesting that dreams like that happen, or that they're even they are a thing. It's I always found dreams very interesting.
God, I read some study where they could communicate with people who were in their dreams. Like there is like a way to like get answers from people as they're lucid dreaming.
That's awesome.
I always hoped when my mom passed that I would see her in my dreams and maybe talk to her. But I did have a dream of her once. But when I did see her, she wouldn't talk to me, and so I was just like, that fucking sucked. And I badly was talking to her, but she just wouldn't talk in the dream. So that kind of upset me because I was just like, I finally saw my mom, and she wouldn't talk to me. I was so upset when I woke up. I mean, Joe's dreaming right now. So I mean,
Joe's just taking it all in.
Yeah.
No, have you had really lucid daydreams? I have really lucid daydreams when I was in school. Like my eyes are open, but I see a whole fucking movie and picture going on, and suddenly I come into focus, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm at class.
Your mind's eye. Like I
Yeah.
love lost in like just random fantasy. Like, oh, what I inherited $1 million.
Oh, yeah.
You just get lost. Like, what do I do? And it takes over your vision and everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's always
taking over your awake brain, so yeah, it's crazy daydreams that happen too. You're fully awake, but you still are dreaming like you're, like you were sleeping. So daydreams are interesting too.
Have you guys ever had other dreams of like past loved ones who passed away?
I had one time with my grandfather, and I never met him, as I told Rain like 10,000 times because the whole wrestling thing. I had a dream that I was at a wrestling show. It was like a dream that I was with my dad, and then all of a sudden look over, my dad's not there, and it was like by myself. The arena was completely full, and then I closed my eyes, and the arena was empty. And in my dream, there was an old guy sitting in the corner, like in the front row on the other corner. And I closed my eyes, and I could see him. And then I kept hearing my dad going, "Man, I wish my dad was here. He would love this." And I was like, "Yeah, I wish he was here too. I wish your grandpa was here too." And I opened my eyes, and the guy was sitting there in the corner. I was like, I looked at my dad. He was gone, and the arena was empty. And the old guy got up, moved over, sat next to me, and he's like, This was really cool. I remember doing this back in the day." And I looked over, and the guy had a mask on. I was like, and I woke up like, whoa,
Yeah.
that about. So I was like, the week after I started doing the ringside.
Huh.
And I was like,
that is cool.
He didn't say thank you for what you do. He just says, I remember doing this. That was a lots of fun.
Nice.
Yeah. And then but I looked over, he had the red mask on, and he was just sitting there like this, looking at
nice.
Oh, you should show the Funko so we can. So those who, yeah. So for those who don't know, Joe's grandfather was a wrestler.
Oh, fun!
Yes,
that's awesome.
Female fan of ours that watches dudes, and she watches Ghost Head Nerd Talk. Tracy, she actually made that, and she made my other persona, Joe Panther III. I'm not asking her to make another one, but I'm like, can you make Ghostbuster Joe too?
Oh, so cute!
Yes,
I love it.
That's my other persona. That's
so fun.
That's my wrestling persona. Everybody always goes, which one do you which persona means a lot to you? And I was like, they both mean a lot to me, but Ghostbuster Joe is my original. My barber does not know me as Joe Panther III. I called to get a beard fix up because I'm going to a wrestling show on Saturday. And I was like, "Hey, it's me, Joe." And he pauses and he goes, "You mean Ghostbuster Joe?" And I was like, "Ghostbuster?" He's pretty much like a thug. He sounds like a homie. He's like, Ghostbuster? Is you Ghostbuster? And I was like, "Yes, it's me, Ghostbuster Joe. How are you? What's going on, Joe? What's going on, man? What's going on, man?" And I said, "I need to get a haircut." Me and Dad. Yeah, okay, what day? And I was like, Wednesday. Oh, can't do 3:30. Can we possibly do Thursday? Yeah, 11, 10, no, 11 o'clock. I'm like, all right. Right, see you on Thursday, Ghostbuster. Okay, no problem. So yeah.
I wanted to ask you really quick too. I know this is kind of pivoting, but you said you had some supernatural stories too, or
I
like
do.
experiences?
I do actually. So yeah, I have had a couple of dreams where I've dreamt about like my grandma who has passed away, and she had a haunted house. And
Imagine
to
that.
this
Yeah.
day, I'm not sure if she was aware of it or not, but I don't know how she wouldn't have been. So I'm not sure if she was just chalking it up to just weird noises, weird things happening. But she had a house that was built for her by my grandfather. And when they bought the property, it had been like a house with like a farm on it, like a little barn and things. So my dad grew up in that house and he has a lot of stories of his own. But the first time that anything weird ever happened to me in the house, I was probably like 5 or 6 years old, having a sleepover with like my sister and a couple of my cousins because we were all really close in age. Like, I think we were all about like 6 months apart, the four of us. And we were sleeping in the basement because we thought that'd be fun, like make a little blanket nest and sleep in the basement. And so we're laying there, and I've always been a pretty light sleeper. And I heard someone come down like the basement stairs, which, not weird. It's probably grandpa coming to check on us, make sure we're sleeping and things like that. And I saw like a figure walking towards me, like must be my grandpa, no big deal. And then it walked in between us, and it didn't have any feet, but it made foot imprints in the blanket. And then it walked straight through a wall. And I was like, well, I guess that wasn't my grandpa. And as a kid, I was like, that's pretty weird. And so I told my parents about it, and my mom was like, you were dreaming. And my dad
Right.
was like, we're going to talk about that later. So my dad let me know of all of the things that happened to him in that house. But there was another incident when I was about like 10 years old that I was in that house by myself, and I had my CD player with like my little headphones, and I was so cool, and I was listening to music, and I remember seeing something run out of the hallway. And I was like, that's weird. Grandma doesn't have any pets. That's strange. So then I had looked a little closer at the hallway, and it was a smaller figure. And if it looked like it looked at me with like some kind of orangey like eyes in the dark. And then, huh?
Oh no, I've had the kind of the same experience. Go on.
Yeah.
Though.
Was it
And then,
translucent? What did it look
yeah, like I could kind of see through. Like it was definitely like a little bit obscured. And then it looked at me, and where its mouth would have been, it opened its mouth and just radio static came out.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Yep. And that was enough for 10-year-old me to like hoodie over the head, duck into a ball, and just be like, no, 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 no. This is not happening right now. We're not doing this. Like, I have to wait for my grandma to get home. I'm here all by myself. I hate it. And then when I looked up, it was gone, which, I was relieved about. But yeah, I ended up seeing the shadow person who just kind of like, you could trace the steps of like where it would go. It would start in like the attic, and there was no floor up there. It was all just support beams, and you could trace like where the steps were on the ceiling. And then it would get to all of the bedrooms, and it would open the door if it was shut, and it would just like peek its head in and then like close the door and then like on to the next room. And just like it would just kind of like rinse and repeat like throughout the night. And it was never anything that I felt like scared by. It just was a thing that her house did, which I
Wow.
mean, now looking back on it, I'm like, man, as a little kid, I should have been more scared by that. But I really wasn't, because it didn't seem like it didn't seem menacing. It
Right.
seemed like it was probably just like an old farmhand just checking on the farm, making sure everything's good. So yeah, whenever I stayed there and it would like open the door, I'd give it a little like thumbs up, like, "Hey man, we're cool." And then shut the door.
It's called
But
close
I'm
the door.
dying to know. So after my grandma passed away, they ended up selling that house, and I'm dying to know, being like, anything weird happen, guys? Anything weird happen to you guys here? But I haven't kept in touch with the owners, but yeah. I'm
Where
hoping.
was it? Was it in
Portland. Yeah.
Portland?
So my grandma lived about 2 blocks from University of Portland, so like the North Portland area. So she lived pretty close to U of B. And so yeah, it's a big house too. Like my grandpa, it started small and then it grew as they had kids. So, house had to get bigger. So,
And they were the only people that had lived there, or it's that
Mhm.
someone else had lived in that tiny house? to start
so
with?
nope. He built the tiny house from just like farmland. So I think there was like a barn on the property that he then turned into like a shop that was kind of like behind their garage. But I think that's all that was on the property, was like a barn.
I
I told him
love
maybe it was a
stories.
cemetery.
I love stories like that where like, no, nothing traumatic happened. We don't know where these like beings are from or why they're tethered to this location.
Right. Like the only thing I hope is, I'm like, I hope that like being is getting rest somewhere. Cause like for me, the thought of like you have to pace a house for eternity sounds like a nightmare. So I'm hoping that like some people believe that like shadow figures and like spirits and things like that are kind of like a, like, how do you say it? Like a way of just like things repeating themselves over and over again. And so like it's just kind of that. So yeah, it's
like
just
an
kind of like
echo,
that.
it's an impression of a
Yeah.
memory or something, or like
Yeah.
something. Like that's what a lot of ghost stories are, where it's like a ghost doing these same things over and over, or like
Yeah.
sometimes you're fueled by an intense emotion, but like that one doesn't seem like it. But like, who knows
Yeah.
why energy would stay
Yeah.
somewhere? I don't know, like a memory. I think information is kind of like a vector, like a time, like a dimension. Like, where does
Right.
information go? Why do people have past life memories or things like that? It's like you are storing it as in some way in your brain, like a hard
Right.
drive.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
yeah. And so maybe part of that hard drive energy is, stuck somehow. But maybe it's not even a person. Maybe it's just the archetype of one, or just like an impression.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like an impression of something that happened there.
Yeah, because
That just
emotions are
replays.
strong things. Maybe the energy of them stay recorded in the ether or wherever, or
Yeah.
whatever it is that we're floating through, because I mean, obviously something is recording it, or something, because there's residual haunts and things like that. That just it's just something on repeat that just happens over and over again. And it's the
Yeah.
most mundane things too. Like I think it's things that just happen all the time, like old hospitals, and they always see the same nurse that goes around the same hall and checks the same area. I think maybe just something she did, but then that energy is just there because it's on constant repeat. So I mean, it's quite interesting, those kinds of things, Just because we don't see it, but yet we don't see air either. It doesn't mean that there's not
Right.
something else that collects that kind of stuff, right?
Exactly. And yeah, I had other things happen at my first job. I worked at a McMinimans in Forest Grove, in the tiny town that I grew up in. And yeah, there were definitely a few occasions of things happening there as well. But I know we're low on time. But yeah, I will say, just as a quick spoiler, the children's cottage they have there, no thanks. Never going back. No.
Where is this now?
Tell us more. Fill the rest of the time.
So Okay. So in
I gotta
Forest Grove, yeah, there's a McMinimans out there that has like a day spa and a hotel, and it's very beautiful. It's an old building because the McMiniman brothers, they tend to convert like old buildings that would be demolished. They kind of turn them into something new, like a hotel, or like this one had like a movie theater and a day spa, and like all kinds of stuff. And it was lovely. It's a beautiful property. Absolutely recommend. But the Children's Cottage was a place that when the building was an old folks home, which is what it was before they built like a brand new one right behind it. It was, an old folks home. And then they had the Children's Cottage, which was originally for orphans. So I believe it was running in like the 1910s, 1920s, like really early, like 20th century. And the amount of things that I had happen there in the short time that I worked there was low key annoying because I never had to go there that often. I did like hotel housekeeping, but that was kind of a place that was only for special events. So I would go there like helping out other teams and things like that. So I went there once and had a hairbrush thrown at me. Rude, but you would have these things happen, like something would get thrown at you or like weird things would fall off the shelf, and then you'd hear children laughing when there were no children around. And it's so baffling when it happens to you too, because it's like, who hit me? And then you hear like a little in like the darkness, and I'm like, I hate it here and want to leave. But yeah, and also something. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it makes you wonder though, are they just trying to get your attention, or are they just fucking with you? So
I genuinely think they were just trying to play. Like, hey, there's a new person here. Like, I want to play with you. But my dad actually had to do, like, he had to fix their copier there when that was their, like, sales office was actually in the Children's Cottage. And he said that he would hear kids running up and down, like, the hallway upstairs. There was no hallway upstairs.
Wow.
So you hear like kids running and laughing and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, it was kind of weird, but the house I grew up in was kind of weird too. So he was never that rattled by it, but like, I guess the sales staff kind of thought it was like low key annoying. And so they asked to move to like the hotel. Cause like, I can only imagine how annoying it would be being like, yeah, book a wedding with us. We'll get, we'll have it catered. Everything will be great. And then it's like, are there children running in the background? What is going on there? So
can you tell the kids to shut up?
right. Like, did you bring your kid to work with you today? What is going on? But yeah, like I had a lot of weird experiences working there. But yeah, it's definitely a really cool old property. Absolutely recommend it if you're in Oregon, like on the way to the beach. It's a good place to stay if you don't want to go like that whole drive. But yeah, it's really neat. It's a neat property that I will never stay the night in.
A lot of this stuff reminds me of like a podcast episode. I don't know if we can talk about other podcasts, but Otherworld, where it's like a family that has all these like shadow beings in their house, and then they see like a translucent ghost out in their yard. They have like weird fairy, like floating little lights and fairy lights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And their house was like a new build too. Nothing had happened there. I think sometimes the location has stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, plus if you think of it, I mean, we're at the end of the Oregon Trail. So I mean, I'm sure there's lots that happen here.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, the amount of people who, like even still, they'll like move west to retire and things like that. So, yeah, I think it's a lot of that.
I can imagine if you brought one of those like the ball thing to check out the energy on the Oregon Trail. There's probably lots of spirits that just roam that trail.
They died of dysentery.
Dysentery. I was just going to say the same thing.
Or the river crossing. That's a tough one.
Did you guys? Okay, so when you played the Oregon Trail, did you ever like overhunt just because it was fun?
Always.
And it was like, it would be like, you can't carry back that much meat. And I was like, then why'd you let me kill it?
Yeah, Apex Predator, Apex Predator.
I've got
Wait,
10
yeah.
people in my party. You're telling me we can't carry back 2,000 pounds of meat?
I would go the wrong way stupidly.
It's a lot of jerky.
And so much jerky. Oh my God.
I went
Like,
the wrong way.
maybe this is an Oregonian thing. Did you guys play like a real life version of Oregon Trail when you were in school?
No, I'm from Cali, so yeah.
Yeah, from California. So,
Yes, this is an Oregon thing. That makes me so happy. Yeah, in fourth grade, you got like a little card that had like your profile on it, and it told you how old you were, and you had to try to survive the Oregon Trail. And I mean, it's kind of dark to make like fourth graders play this because it got really competitive for no reason. But yeah, lots of fourth graders died. They didn't plan ahead.
I was bad. I
that's
would
how I would
skip.
see a lot of.
I'd push the skip button stupidly. See how far I would get before skipping. Because I had the disc version of it. So my friends are like, if you push like S, it's fine, Joe. Isn't that the same button? No, skip. And I skipped halfway, and they said everybody died, froze to death.
Yep.
I was like,
Everybody died. Yep.
don't push the skip button.
Died.
Trail. Do they still have that? Can you play? Do they still have like it somewhere, like an app or whatever? They could play it now.
There is a newer version app, though I have an iPhone, but there is a newer version app, and it's actually really updated. And you can actually pick who you want to take with you, and you can.
That's amazing.
And yeah, you can actually fish, and you have to actually like. It's kind of like with Animal Crossing, you would toss out the little, and you have to tap on the fish.
I love
It's
that.
got
Yeah,
little mini things in
I love supply management.
Yeah,
This
I've
is
wasted
not
a lot of time on it.
information I needed,
But yeah,
but I'm glad I have it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's
I
something
like
on my
foraging. It's like these plants are poisonous. You'd have a book and you'd have to like look them up.
Yeah, you can choose which different version, or so it's like this will take you longer, but you can have more food on the way. This way is shorter, but there's more treacherous mountains, and there's like different paths to take to where you're going. But this way is shorter, and you have to get to the end before like winter comes or something like that. So it's really neat. They've expanded it a lot too. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
It's insane to think that like kids back in the 90s and 80s, they were fucking addicted to that game in school. He said there was gets addicting. Like the kids would be like, I want to play, but I'm not done yet. You're gonna die in 15 minutes. Skip. Oh, you dead.
Yeah.
Oh. This kids in BOCES were so mean.
Your work in order to
skip my turn, you die, get off. My turn, turn the game off, turn it back on. Joe, I'm
it's amazing how Oregon Trail became a competitive game. It's very strange.
Or even just the subject of just getting from one location to another in the West, is just how this kind of became a thing. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Iconic game. There weren't a lot of options back then. It was just like that, and there's like one where you're like a rabbit.
Yeah, it's one color, 8-bit. I remember like we had Apple IIe's, and I think that's what it was on.
Nice.
Remember the disc?
You gotta type fast, so that shark's gonna get you.
That's why all those kids our generation learned how to type really fast so they didn't get killed by a shark.
Yeah, I mean now they
You
just
played it's like House of the Dead, but it's typing.
Oh God.
No.
Oh yeah. Like I've seen people play it and it's wild because like you have to type really fast or the zombies are gonna get you. And like that's pressure I don't need in my life.
I know. Give me a cozy game where
with where I'm
go
at.
over and plant the crops, and you have to do it type it correctly. Make it like I just need Stardew, but with typing.
Yeah, Stardew Farmville typer simulator.
Yeah, pet the cow.
What is it? Is it Mavis Beacon? Is she the one that teaches typing? Be like her farm simulator. So she'll teach you farming and typing.
Yeah.
We need to write them like an email being like, hey, you're sitting on a gold mine, guys.
Yeah.
Typing and farming.
I have this idea.
Let's go.
No, wait, it's fine.
Yeah.
I remember when Farmville was out popular on MySpace or Facebook. My mom, she got into signed into my Facebook, and she didn't look at the posts. She didn't see anything anybody I was talking to. but she would send people everything. And then I get to work and the girls are like, Joe, can you send me tomatoes? Can you send me avocados? Can you send me? And I look at the girl at me and my lunch. I'm like, Joe, calm down.
What game is this? Is this
And I
Farmville?
Farmville. I jump up
Facebook,
and I go, that's not me that's sending you all that shit. It's my mom.
Yeah.
Like, leave me alone. I just want to enjoy my lunch. This Walmart chicken that I'm eating could get me
Yeah,
diabetes.
I don't think I joined Facebook till after 2010, and I remember Farmville and whatever the Grand Theft Auto version, I forget, Mafia, I think it was called or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
But I remember everyone were like, "You need to jump on. I'll give you stuff. You need to send me shit." And I was like, "I'm not even on Facebook, dude. Like, I play real video games."
Yeah, Facebook had so many weird features. I remember that you could make buttons, and I would like make stupid buttons, and you could put them on like a fake cork board, and it's like, what a waste feature. Like, just stick to what you know, which is just big marketing feed and reels and stuff. You know,
I mean, that's what made Facebook popular was all of its stupid games in the beginning that got people hooked on it. I mean, MySpace didn't have the games, but people jumped on the Facebook because it had Farmville and all those other things. So that was the thing that got it started.
There was a zombie game too for a while that I was playing that it was like you had to like barricade your little house you're in, and then if you got chosen to do the sniper thing, you had like you either get the sniper or if you're really trying to get the zombies, they gave you a machine gun. So you're on top of the house with the machine gun and you're like it's like you had a certain limited amount of bullets. So you're shooting, and I'm like, my brain goes crazy. So I'm thinking, ooh, Rambo. And putting my mouse all different directions. And there's like kick. The gun starts getting hot and the guy's hands start backing up. And I'm like, well, why kill everybody in my house?
They had to go.
Right.
If zombies were random, I would just be like, I'm good. Just take me. Like, I'm not fighting a horde of zombies.
just put a MacGyver that shit and put like a blanket with grenades on each side, so that pull the pins and run and make sure the zombies don't get blown up, or like something thing that you know what I mean. Like find a way if the zombie goes past the grenade, it pulls the pin and it explodes, and all the zombies blow up. See, MacGyver shit. Gotta be
thinking.
Just gotta find some grenades.
Right. Yeah. You don't have like a closet full of them?
Yeah, maybe I do.
When
if you did, I'm sure the FBI would be after you.
Right. When I moved out, my dad gave me the zombie survival guide, but it's the flashcards. And when I was like, oh my God, like it's flashcards, he goes, yeah, because when the zombies come, you're not going to have time to read an entire book, Rebecca. He's not incorrect, but it is nice having the flashcards. He also, when he redid like their like crawl space, he made sure that it was zombie proof just in case. Like he's not a prepper, but he's also like, just in case. I want to be all right if the zombies come.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Could be some kind of zombie remix, you don't know. It might not be a zombie.
He's like, you don't know. He's like, you might need to stay safe. This is my version of a panic room. You know?
Yeah.
Zombie apocalypse sounds terrible, but I'm like, I know how to crochet, so at least I would be able to barter goods. I could still make sweaters.
I'll be like, anybody needs a hug? It's okay. We're not gonna die. Here, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Sellable zombie skills.
Rain would throw me out first. Like,
can I barter?
Like, hold up, let me graphically design
you're
this
talking
video.
too much. She'll threaten me. She'll be like this. I'll be like the cat at the door. No, you need me to hug and make people laugh. You better not throw me out. I will fart. I swear.
Well, DJ for grenades.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Right. Like we need entertainment. Yeah.
You find me in the storage room eating beans. You'd be like, you better not kick me out. I will fart.
Right.
Everywhere.
Exactly.
I'm just like,
last line of defense.
Oh crap. See, I always used to tell them. I tell the kitchen staff in my job, I say, well, this kitchen would be a perfect place to get stuck in because we have all the big cans. And they're like, well, and I'm like, in my head now, I'm like, they can't trust me in there because if they hear me talking about this, they're gonna be like, Joe's gonna be in the storage room like this. Hey guys, what's up? Covered in pudding and all the beans, the pretzels all over my beard. Like, so guys, you ate everything. I'm so hungry.
Yeah.
I'm always hungry anyway.
Going back to dreams, though, I don't have zombie dreams very often. Like, I'd say almost never. I do have dreams where I'm all alone, and those are very scary, but not like zombie dreams.
I don't know if
I've had the dream of like predators and aliens come after me from the movies. So
yes, I have a lot of running and hiding dreams, and just some entity chasing me. I don't even know what it is really. It's something.
Yeah. I definitely have had like very alarming dreams where I'm like all alone in a city.
Oh God.
And there's no one there. But it's because like the place that my nightmares that happen like that are set is because when I was a teenager, I got to go to Korea as like a student exchange. And we got to go to the demilitarized zone, which is a big deal. We had to have like our passports, and we, you know, a bunch of like 13, 14-year-old kids had to be on their best behavior because like if you screw around, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out in a demilitarized zone. So yeah, so we had to be really, really good, but they took us to a place where we were able to see this like beautiful like South Korean city where like you can only live there if your family has lived there for generations or you marry into it. And it's like this beautiful farming community and things like that. But they showed us the mirror city that's on the other side of the North Korean border. And it's a place that has buildings, but all of the windows are painted on. And there are cars on the street, but they don't have tires. And there's, you know, like bikes, but there's just no people. Everything is covered in dust. And they have streetlights, but they come on at the same time every day and they go off at the same time, like every morning.
That's creepy,
Yep. And I've had dreams that I am stuck in that town.
Oh my God.
And there's no one around, and all of the doors are just painted on. There's no way to enter these buildings that are built. They are buildings. They just didn't make windows or doors or anything that you would actually use because no one lives there. It's not a place, I guess. It's a place on a map, but no one lives there.
One of those towns that like the military builds, you know, to train or something.
You would think, but yeah, we didn't see like even a military presence there, which was crazy because everywhere around there it's military everywhere. But yeah, not there because they wanted to compete with South Korea. Mm-hmm. They had a city on their side of the border, so you know we gotta have one that's better. And then yeah, like it's not great, but yeah, I've definitely had dreams that I'm like stuck in that town. Oh, wow. And like running through like the dirt roads and stuff like that, trying to leave and just can't find a way out.
It's like Beetlejuice. You go in the wrong world and then you end up back where you were. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, like it's like those old cartoons where like, you know, the background, like it just cycles through like the same three buildings.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. They try to like
that and then you turn around. Yeah. Like that's the other thing too, is like you'll feel like you're running really far, but then you turn back to look and you've gone like 2 steps.
Oh.
And it's the worst. It's not great.
That's fine. Like I can't move. I move.
It's like Grand Theft Auto if you go too far.
Yeah, exactly.
You go too far and then your guy just goes, yeah, man. And he turns back around and you're like, fuck, no.
Yeah. It's like I can't go any further.
Why is your subconscious like torturing you so much with these weird scenarios? And it's like, perfect. This is great for stressing you out, this material.
Right. I think it's one of those things to where like it's easier to remember when someone says something negative than when someone says something positive. So I feel like my brain can hang on to those like stressful situations a lot easier than like if I have a nice dream where something nice happened, where I eat a whole cake. But think for me, like I have so many dreams and like usually so close together that like a lot of the time like they do mesh to be very weird. But lately, since I have more of like a sleep routine, it's a lot better than it was. Like I'd say on average, I have probably like one nightmare a week, maybe. Whereas it
Wow.
used to be like when I was a teenager, it was probably like 4 to 5 times a week.
Damn, that's a
So
lot.
it's not great.
Yeah, I get maybe 1 or 2 a year, and that's if I even remember it. But yeah,
That's really
it's
cool. What's that like? Is it nice?
I mean,
Yeah,
though I
it's-
don't really sleep a lot either. I mean, I get maybe 5 hours of sleep.
There you
'cause
go.
we party all night, and we're
There you go.
I don't dream that much
Yeah.
because,
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think like now that I have like a really good like sleep routine down, it's a lot better. But yeah, as a teenager, we had like a sleep study done, and they discovered that like my rapid eye movement keeps me from getting to like the deepest forms of sleep. So like it effectively keeps me awake. And that's why like I have so many like vivid dreams and nightmares and things like that, because like my eyes are just moving around, processing things, I guess. So, it is what it is. Like I don't really know like a different way around it, because even as a little kid, I would have like weird dreams and nightmares then. So like I kind of just always had that, which yeah, explaining nightmares to a parent and then being like, huh, okay, yeah, they did their best, but also their
there's not a
kids
lot
said
you
weird
can
shit
do.
to them repeatedly. So
You're just like, watch Care Bears before bed or something.
kind of, they were just kind of like, what do we do about that? That's weird. I mean, they kind of chalked it up to like kids' imagination is crazy.
yeah.
And it is. So, but yeah, they did their best with a kid who was like, I had a nightmare again.
And does anyone in your family dream like this, or that you know?
My dad does. And his side of the family is known to have like, they have a couple of sleepwalkers in their family. Like one of my uncles was such a bad sleepwalker that they literally had to like belt him to the bed, because one night he got up and he went up the basement stairs. And then instead of turning right to go to the bathroom, he turned left and went to the kitchen and peed in the fridge
Mhm.
in his sleep. So, yeah. So, like, my dad has weird dreams. And what's funny is, like, as a kid, when we would go to, like, wake him up to be like, Daddy, I had a bad dream, he would say just weird shit back to us all the time. Like one time there was a lot of flooding happening in Oregon, like where we grew up, and there was all this flooding happening and like windstorms, and it was very chaotic. Then I went to my dad to be like, hey dad, like I had a bad dream. Can I talk to you? And he was like, you're going to have an electrician look at it. They're going to need more sandbags.
So close.
I don't think that's the issue, Dad, but thanks. Sage words. And then like my mom would kind of like jostle awake and be like, just go back to bed, it's fine. Just go back to bed. But yeah, like my parents have been married for a long, long time. And my mom would even say that, yeah, in like stressful periods of my dad's life, he would like yell in his sleep, like having a terrible dream and like yelling about it and things like that. And it was very alarming for her, but like she'd be able to like, sun's getting real low, like be able to calm him down about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think it mostly comes from my dad's side. Yeah, like him and his brothers, they all have like weird sleep issues and things like that. So thanks, Dad. Love that.
Imagination juice.
Oh yeah.
Kinda. I mean, it is really helpful. A friend of mine, the friend who I had the dream about, he actually runs a D&D campaign, and they recently went to Limbo. And I got to help him plan a bunch of chaotic, horrible things. Which
this is why it all comes together.
It all came together. I was like, if you're good at something, never do it for free. Like it it all came together in the end. Because yeah, we had like categories of things that was like harmless, mostly harmless, and it escalated to the very top tier was what the fuck even is that shit? So that way, like they'd encounter things and like they could know that like this is not good. This is terrible. One of them was a pumpkin patch, but if you disturbed any of the pumpkins, they would all groan and scream. So that's fun.
Oh my god.
But yeah, there was also a piano made of teeth because these are all things that I've seen in dreams that I've had. Yeah.
Shit.
A piano made of teeth, you know.
Oof.
That's what I do.
Yikes.
That's a lot
Yeah.
of teeth.
It was so many teeth.
Oh,
But yeah,
geez.
so many teeth to make a whole piano.
Did the
Imagination.
tooth fairy pop out and she's really awkward and she's just like, Elon, do you need any teeth?
No, I wish.
The Rock, isn't it? Risk the Rock, the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. That's surprised that wasn't a Ghostbusters bad guy in the real Ghostbusters. I was waiting for that.
Oh, right. Yeah. They had just about everything else. Yeah.
Where's
That would
the
have
tooth
tracked.
fairy?
Yeah.
Like a really creepy. From far away, she's really sweet and beautiful, but when she gets close up, she's all like a witch. But she like he has.
What?
I don't know.
What was the name of that movie? Was it Darkness Falls?
Yeah. It was
Where
the
the
actual
Tooth Fairy.
Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yes.
Don't look at the Tooth Fairy when she comes to get your teeth. I remember that. Or she will kill you or something. like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, like that was a wild time. They made horror movies about anything at that era. It was crazy.
I mean, you had Krampus. I mean, that was a crazy fucking movie.
Did you guys ever see Ghost Ship back in like the mid 2000s?
Didn't
Yeah,
see it, but I'm like hoping it's on Hulu. So I'm like, that's another one that you just mentioned. So that goes on my list. The House
Yeah.
in the Woods, House in the Woods, Camp in the Woods, whatever it
Cabin
was.
in the
Maybe it
Woods?
said, yeah.
Yeah.
2002. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ghost Ship was on a few times during October because my partner and I watched it. We were like, we haven't seen this one in forever.
Yeah. That's one of those movies. So a friend of mine and I, we would get together and have like a sleepover, and her parents would like rent us a horror movie from like Blockbuster in our like tiny town. And we watched Ghost Ship that way. We watched Darkness Falls that way. But the one that really destroyed us mentally was we watched Urban Legends
Mm.
that way. We were terrified to even like go to the bathroom that night. We were too scared of literally anything. It was so bad. It was so scary. And now as an adult, I'm like, it can't be that scary, but I'm not going to watch it and find out.
You're like, I'm
But it
not
can't be
giving
that.
those dreams more dream fuel.
More dream fuel, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like that does happen. Like usually if I do watch like a scary movie right before bed, like I will have that happen. Or like my husband likes to fall asleep to various TV shows. And so there was a time that for a while I couldn't let him fall asleep to Ancient Aliens because I would have some whack ass dreams listening to like Ancient Aliens and also having a nightmare. But lately it's been okay to have like Ancient Aliens on or just something that's like very monotone. Like that's been fine. But yeah.
That's why I put
Like I
SpongeBob
watched,
on bed.
yeah. But yeah, watching scary movies, I will just like that night, my brain will just like process it all and then it's done. So it comes with the territory.
Well, being a person with attention deficit disorder, everything that
Yeah.
happened to me that whole day goes into like a process thing, like when your videos are like processing on YouTube, and it's like,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
dream time, it just drops out of the cloud and right into my brain, and I'm just like, oh no, oh god,
Yeah.
that girl was mean to me that day, but now she's giving me the angry look all day. Why are you? What did I say to that person? Why are they following me around like a ghost on my shoulder? Oh man,
Yeah.
did I just die in the dream because I was thinking about something in my at work that made me upset? Like, goes all, yep, everything.
Have you guys ever died in a dream?
No. I usually wake up when it's about to kill me. Or the worst is when I'm falling and then as soon as you hit the ground, you wake up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a common
So
thing.
nice.
No, I've never died in a dream. I mean, I really don't remember mine that well.
Yeah.
When I was doing the dream journal, I did more. But they were always like so silly. A lot of them were like, I'm in a video game. Like when I would remember them more, I'm like, I played too many video games.
That's what it means.
Yeah.
That's what the dream means. I've had dreams where I die, like where, I'm like murdered or whatever. But I've also had dreams where I'm like already a ghost and can like see in on my family and how they're doing. It's very weird. Very weird. Yeah.
I have like dreams where I like will fight people, and I'm very good at fighting in my dreams for some reason.
Those are the dreams to have where you're like, I could punch anyone.
Yeah. I think like push comes to shove, like I could be good at a scrap.
Right.
It's just dreamland, so who knows?
Yeah.
I remember dreams having weapons, but every time I pull the trigger, nothing would fire. Like, so I would constantly get upset because it was like nothing is shooting, or let me have a pistol or something, it would work. And then I remember, getting really angry at it. Like, why isn't this working?
Yeah. Why isn't this working? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like cars that don't start.
Yes. Shit like that.
Things like that. Yeah. I've had dreams where I'm cooking and like can't turn the stove off. Like that's also hard.
I've had magic in my dreams where I could turn a TV or a light on or off, and then I'll wake up and I'll like try to do it. I'll be like, come on.
Too much Harry Potter for you.
Yeah. It's just, it'll be like weird things. Like it'll be like small things too. Nothing like that grand where it's like almost real. And then when you wake up, you're like, maybe I can.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Like, what if I try?
Yeah, I'm not focused hard enough.
Like, why isn't the TV turning on?
Did I put the wrong spell on? No.
Light turned off.
Right.
That'd be funny if your light just turned off right there.
I know. I want something to happen like that. Like I always like set up things where I'm like, okay, if aliens are real or if there's a ghost here.
Yeah.
And nothing ever happens. So
it's like just once I want that confirmation bias,
Yeah. Just give me
like,
a little sign, but like a nice friendly one.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know how you have the steam in the mirror in a scary movie, but it's just like, hi.
Right.
Heart.
Have a nice day. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Smiley face. Yeah.
There's a
So,
person
I
needs to
would love it if you have a ghost that just writes, "Hey girl."
hey.
Hey girl. How's it going?
There's a guy I used to work with, and on his window of his apartment, like his bathroom window, it said "I love you" across the mirror of the bathroom. And I'm like, do you guys fucking clean the mirror? Why would I took a shower, I came out of the bathroom, came out of the shower, looked in the mirror, I was like, Sasha, I ain't like this, man. Why are you freaking me out? And he said, what do you mean? Why is your wife leaving me "I love you" messages? I don't see her like that. She's like, shut up, Joe. And I'm like, why are you guys leaving messages like this? I don't like you like that. No, Joe, that's the ghost. It just has that message. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you nasties, you got to clean the mirror. Why is it like, why is "I love you"?
At least it's just "I love you." It could be so much worse.
But it's odd. Clean your mirror.
It could be so much worse. That's fairly like nice. Yeah. It just says you're next. So what? That's what I would choose to believe. If it's like you're next, I'd be like, for what? What do you mean?
What did I win?
Oh my god, it picked me. Oh my god. I'm so lucky.
Like you could see me for what?
Yeah.
We were in the bathroom. What it could be like? What is it? What am I next for?
Yeah.
I won't tell nobody. I won't tell him. Don't worry. Lock the bathroom door.
We're a bit over, should we?
Well,
any other dreams?
This is a great topic.
Yeah.
It's
fun.
really
It's a fun one.
Yeah.
I like always bringing the ghost stuff too. like we have our main topic, and then it's like also tell us any ghost.
But also ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've had dreams about like pets that have passed away, which is kind of nice and like cathartic to like get to see them again and like pet them again. Like that's really those are nice dreams. They are a bit sad, but it's nice to kind of like I choose to believe that like wherever it is that they are, they're happy. And like yeah, I had a dream shortly after I had my daughter that like my grandma and my husband's grandma, who they probably met in like passing a couple times, but I had a dream that, you know, they've since passed away and they were just like hanging out. And just like my grandma was quilting and his grandma was telling a silly story and like my little dog was with him and like it was just a very nice, like pleasant dream to have. And so I'm like, you know what? I choose to believe that that's what's going on. But, you know, this is actually one of my grandma's shirts, by the way. So
No,
Oh,
it's a literal grandma sweater. I love it. It's got a little bit on it. But yeah, they make the clickety noises. But yeah, this was her sweater that I had when she passed away. But yeah, like it's ghosts and dreams, like I think they can kind of go hand in hand because I think they're both things that like your brain just kind of doesn't process normally.
It's just like the the visuals you're getting are kind of fragmented usually.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in both cases, you never quite get like the complete picture.
Yeah. Because your brain can't really process it. It's like I actually think we live in a very simplified world that our brain like filters out a lot.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on out there.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yep.
Well, I think this is comes to the end, and we've been having a lot of fun today.
Yeah.
So, if my fans want to follow you on social media or they want to subscribe to your YouTube channel, how can they find it?
Yeah, so I'm at Cupcake Yarn ASMR. If you just search in Cupcake Yarn, you will likely find me. But yeah, Cupcake Yarn ASMR. I do also post a lot of makeup content on Instagram at just Cupcake Yarn Sprinkles. So, because I like cupcakes and I like yarn. So
Sounds
it's
delicious.
easy to find me. But yeah, that would be where you can find me. And yeah, the best thing is if you just fall asleep to the videos that I make. I try to make them nice and relaxing. Yeah.
We're gonna give it a go.
Awesome. Either Rain or like other of you have any gigs that you're doing upcoming soon, Rain?
I have a lot. Yeah, I doing a gig tomorrow. At a Sanctuary, it's all girl play night. Devil's Doorknob, and then Wednesday I'll be at Mount Tabor. Dance party for the White House Social Club. Thursday is all female DJ night at Plush in Vancouver, where Natasha and I will both be playing over there. And then Friday, we probably might be at the Moxie in Portland, doing a little play there. Saturday, I'm DJing a wedding. So yeah, Tuesday through Saturday, I'm spinning every day.
Wow.
Sunday, I might sleep. I don't know. It depends.
Awesome. You could find us on Instagram under Ghost Head Nerd Talk Podcast. Give us a follow. You'll be able to find out whenever we're doing our shows. You could also give us an awesome follow on Twitch because we're trying to get a big following on Twitch. It's really hard, as Mint says, you have to be able to have everybody attached and every time get everybody that wants to be there. It's kind of hard, and I knew from back in the day.
You said hard
twice. Yeah, I know. That's what he said. It's hard. It's difficult to get an audience.
I killed Natasha.
It's difficult to get an audience, but we're trying really hard to get an audience to like come and watch. I tell people about it all the time.
You said another one.
Yeah. You have to get something. Do something. But this is fun. I'm so glad that I'm on Twitch again, and thank you so much for coming on. It was so much fun. Definitely want to have you on again before the end of the year. We're planning on doing our 100th episode. Maybe if you want to come back and join us, and we can tell more stories. more ghost
Absolutely.
stories, more
Yeah.
dream stories. We have some more people that are with our podcast. We'll have more people to tell us their stories. So
We do have the 100th episode coming up.
yes, soon.
Exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
As always, I am Ghostbuster Joe.
And I'm Rain.
Natasha.
Becca.
And just as I always say, us ghost heads have a lot to talk about. Good night, everybody.
Okay.